Hello, Mo Football fans. This is your boy Musa again with another episode. And today we have a very special one. We're not talking about English soccer or we're not talking about, the MLS. Today we're talking all about Jamaica's Premier League football. For those of you in the US, it's still soccer, but for us, it will be football, and you most likely will hear a lot about it today. And I have the pleasure to have Vino Barclett and Shaquille Stein from Cavalier SC. So first questions before we get to the fun part. Online I see it says Cavalier SC and I see FC. How do you get? Which one do you guys use?
SC.
SC. So you're using soccer club.
Yeah, right.
All right. But you guys call it football.
Football, yeah, that's what.
Okay. So how fun is that when you see your clubs calling it SC and you guys call it football?
Well, I see it as like they name the two sports differently. Because for me,
Right.
like American football use their hands, so that should be named soccer. Where
Yes.
football we use our feet, you understand? Soccer we use our feet, so it should be football.
Oh boy, you're starting trouble. That's the discussion here. Why they call it and you throw the ball versus you kick it.
Yeah.
All right, great way to start it. What about you, Vino? Is that and Shaquille? Is there any difference for you? Football, soccer? How's that goes?
No, we not see no different. But it's like what Vino say, football you play with your feet, so yeah.
All right, so it's just on the title.
Right.
Awesome. So yes, so for those of you, those I think many of people here in the US, and that watch MLS soccer, just got familiar with you guys when Miami play against Cavalier C. So Vito, we know that you guys in the Caribbean, you're like top striker and the best goalkeeper of last year and to the Caribbean. So could you tell a little bit, to those that are not familiar with your team and yourself, who is Vino Barclett first?
Well, Vino Barclett, Vino Barclett,
Mhm.
St. Lucia National. St. Lucia is a small island, 180,000 people, population of 180,000. Like being coming from this small island playing against like some of the greatest footballers in the world is like a dream come true, you understand? So I joined Cavalier FC SC in 2021, which my first tournament was in 2022. And like transiting from amateur football to professional, it was a big thing for me because like the simple things we have to get it right. You understand? It's not nothing like with skill, etc. It's just the simple things, getting the simple things right. You understand? And like me, like I was not comfortable with the ball at my feet at all. Like coming from amateur football, because I believe that like playing at a younger age, I believe like uh goalkeeper role is just to prevent goals. You understand? Just do not let the opposition score. But playing professional football, you have to be comfortable with your feet also because you actually the last defender. You understand? So
Right.
you have to know the moments and be comfortable with your feet and play with confidence. Yeah, and I find like my transition from amateur football to professional football, it was rough, but I believe like I gel in, and especially with Cavalier playing style. Yeah, so,
All right. So yeah, so on your part then, so you kind of fast forward all the way to Cavalier. So could you tell us a little bit more about like, how did you come into to the game of football? And was there a goalkeeper that says, I want to be that guy?
so okay, so in Saint Lucia, like cricket was our well is our first sport. You understand?
Okay.
Being that Darren Semi was the captain for the West Indies team, so we took cricket to another level. So that was my first sport.
Okay.
You understand? And like being that cricket, you use your hands.
Mhm.
And like at a younger age, like I still used to just throw in my body there, you understand? Until primary school. So in St. Lucia, every primary school have the inter-house sports.
Okay.
So the students, they separate them into 4 different colors, and so I was in red that time. And football is a sport like is one of them fun sports. You understand? And like my teacher at this time, his name was teacher Jess, our PE teacher. He tell me, you know, I think you should try to go. You understand? And from primary school, that's what it's been. Like I've never played no other position. I just adopted goalkeeping.
Nice. So it took a teacher to introduce you to the sport, and here you
Uh,
are now a pro.
yeah, right.
Nice, nice. So now we're
Primary school level. Yeah.
like promise, awesome. So yeah, so it looks like now we're transitioning from the best goalkeeper of 2024 to the best striker of 2024. So Shaquille, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how did you get introduced to the sport of football?
Um, my name is Shaquille Stein. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Suriname. Most people don't know Suriname, but in Suriname we speak Dutch. This English is a new thing for me, and but I try. Um, I play football. It's my first sport. I like it, and I'm good at it. And I start from since I was 7 years old,
Yeah.
and I take it serious when I was like 20 years old and focus on it the most. And I come at Cavalier, at Jamaica last year. Yeah, last year, my first time in another country
Okay.
playing
Uh,
football. And in the Caribbean Cup, I did the top goal scorer.
yes.
Um, it was not like really, uh,
Uh-oh.
but what I can say, I was not surprised about it, but because it's my thing. I'm a striker. I can score a lot of goals and everything. So I do my thing every game. Try to get the goal, help the team win. And um, last month we play against Inter Miami. Um, it was a really hard and tough match with some good players. Um, we try our best, but
It
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
So you mentioned that. So you say you took football seriously at the age of 20,
yeah,
and you're 24, and you're playing professional. So that's very impressive. And you say your Suriname is they speak Dutch. So was there a player that you kind of looked up and says, I want to be that guy? Was it a Dutch player or?
yeah. There was a player here before at
Okay.
Cavalier, from Suriname, and his name is Brian Elshot.
Okay.
Yeah, he was here before. So I was looking at him because he's a very good player. So he bring me to Cavalier.
Okay.
Yeah, he bring me to Cavalier. And but now he's not here because he injured. But
So he just passed the baton to you. He's like, here's your turn.
yeah,
So yes, so when it comes to the Jamaican Premier League, I don't think there's not enough or not eyes on the league. So could you tell us a little bit more like how is it um competitive wise?
So I think like in the Caribbean, that's like the highest standard in the Caribbean. And like as you know, like like the TV station that broadcasts the games is global. Sportsmart is
Yes.
global. So like I believe like in Jamaica there is a lot of opportunities. Once you like once you're showing yourself and putting out your talent there, I believe like you can get scouted because as you know, like they have players that play Jamaica Premier League and who currently left to play one of some of the top leagues.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so like I believe there is opportunities. So.
Yes. So from that part, so is there any player that's currently playing or that are retired that you guys look up to when it comes to like positioning, especially you as a goalkeeper and then Shaquille as a striker?
Well, me, I like to like me. I like to keep my things local. You understand?
Okay.
Because like when I look at it local, I believe like he come from a place I was, and he's
Hmm.
at the top. You understand? So that's so he should be my motivation. You understand? So currently, I look at like Jamaican number one goalkeeper Andre Blake,
Oh
knowing that he
yes.
come from Jamaica.
Mhm.
You understand? And he is playing at one of the highest levels. Yeah. So I look at him and yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shaquille? Yeah.
for me, Cristiano Ronaldo is my motivation.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. A really hard worker, and I take a few things over by him because
Mhm.
I'm a trainer, work hard. He's not a like born with like talent. He just work for it, and that's why I take him like a motivation.
Oh, yeah, I definitely see it. I think he's like the standard of the perfect athlete, where he has the skills, but the hard work is what he's in better shape than most people. I think in the world, no matter his age.
That's what.
Perfect. And yes, and you know, I also like the part where you mentioned, keeping it local. I'm a firm believer that how you can progress a country's football pedigree and players is when you can see someone that came from where you come from, so
Yeah,
kind of see it differently than if you just pick someone randomly from the
yeah,
world.
because like I believe like like for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest player of all times. He you understand he is in that field already. You understand? So he's in Europe, probably academy wise and everything wise. It's there. Like everything is in his reach.
Yeah.
You understand? Where we as Caribbean players like we don't have the kind of standards and thing there is like in Europe. You understand? So you have to take your steps. So amateur football, semi-pro, professional at a level. Then you understand?
Yeah.
And like when you're looking at it as a local wise, like local way, you could see the vision like okay, he started there and now he's there. So what was he doing that you can do to be there also?
Yes, absolutely. And that is one of the reason why I was kind of happy when um he reached out to me asking to talk to you guys, because it's one of those things where the more people we can touch, in all of the places in the world, that's how we can kind of grow the sports in our area, but also more eyes on you guys that are, you know, putting in the work, but sometimes don't get all the eyeballs that you need. Um, so yes, and on that part, so is there a place that you would like to go in the future? Like if where does Vino and Shaquille see themselves in 5 years
In 5 years.
or anytime or in the future? Let's just put it that way. No pressure.
I see myself in a better um position, like not like
Or the top scorer. You want to be again the top scorer in the Jamaican league and
no. I don't want to stay in the Caribbean,
okay.
but maybe Europe or some other place. But
come stateside. Let's get some good teams.
Yeah. But you have to get a change. When you get a change, you have to take a change. And I know I will get it. So I still working and believe. In 5 years, I see myself out of this league. This.
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
yeah, so with me, like I don't like to put like restrictions on myself and whatever, but like I want to be playing probably at the highest level that I can. You understand? So like in 5 year time, I just want to be playing, no matter if it's in Europe, US, Central America, like just playing at a higher level than Jamaica. You understand? So every step, like I cherish every step. You understand?
Yeah, every step makes the man. So right, so you got to start somewhere. Yes, and most of the time we'll say the all eyes were pretty much, I think the world's eyes were in Jamaica when Miami visited. I
Yeah.
think it was like I saw the country, the politicians were all there. I watched the stadium. You guys filled it up more than some MLS games here. So how was that experience to have like all eyes on you, because it was the world watching?
Well, like to me, it's like a dream come true. You understand? And like playing in Jamaica, like the stadium capacity, like we never actually feel it. We never like actually play under so many fans. And like being that Inter Miami came and playing this game is like, wow, that's the level I want to be at. You understand? I want to be at that level where I can play under 30,000 people plus. You understand? And that, like playing against those great players, like it taught me a lot. Like doing that, it's not that I believe like we match them to physicality and speed, but
You
it's
have.
just the simple things they do better than us. Like glance over your shoulder, take one, take two. You understand? Knowing the moment. And I think like those are the simple things that make them the greatest, the best. So we Caribbean player, we tend on wanting to do too much. Like when you have the ball, you want to be the guy, be the man. Where those players keep it simple. Yeah.
So you Shaquille, what it's like to play like against Busquets, right? You're talking a player that's won the World Cup, Euros, Barcelona. It's like, and it's local. You didn't have to go to Europe; they came to you. How was that like?
It was a great feeling. Like how Vino said, it's like a dream come true. Um, with them players on the field, and I couldn't believe it. I see them,
Mhm.
I face them, so that we play against them um, was really amazing. I I learn a lot of from them on the field. See things we can do better, and and yeah, we get a goal against them,
Yeah.
but it don't count. I was really disappointed about that, but yeah, this is what it is.
It's still competition, right? Even though
Yeah,
they're well known, you still wanted to beat them. But and I watched both games, and I know I talked to a lot of people. So they were definitely impressed how you guys played them, because even in the MLS, sometimes there's when you see Messi and Busquets, sometimes they tend to not play as hard, but we could definitely see you guys, once you step that white line, even though it was those kind of players, you
Yeah, because
guys for 90 plus minutes, you still played, like they were normal. Um,
yeah, because as you know, like we bunch of young players that looking to pursue football as a career, you understand?
right.
And like those players are players that make the name already. Like they're there already. So which we want to be there. So of course we have to match them and show them that we can play also.
You've definitely shown people like me and others that don't watch the Jamaican Premier League as much, now to have to pay attention. So we definitely saw that. And I think one of those things that I kind of like you mentioned, have the local players, knowing that, they showed up to watch the game and support you guys. I saw Suarez gave his jersey to a little boy, ball boy. I
Yeah,
saw that. I was like, that's probably going to be the next Jamaican professional, right? You
yeah,
get that small moment to show yes, you can do it and
yeah,
having it.
yeah. And all this, and all this is like something you could look back on. You understand? Like,
Yes.
yeah, like that's probably that's a moment that I will like never forget in my life. That's a moment probably I could show my kids, my grandkids.
And now you have it recorded, right? So you're like,
Yes.
I made that stop or I made that shot. So how does that work like in the community now with you guys, within the community? When I'm sure you guys were already stars because you were those professional soccer players, but how does that change like, the community after so much hype on that game?
Yeah, I think like the hype, like it gave us the hype knowing that like we the youngest team in the league. I'm the oldest on the team, which are 25,
Um,
and like
if you, I won't tell you how old I am. So 25.
yeah, so everybody like want to see like the young players do good. You understand? And I feel like after that game, like we get some funds on board that we
Okay.
come in and support our local games.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
So for you, Shaquille, so back home when people now ask you, so what, how it's like, did now everybody calls you and asks you how was that game, or they call you just to say hi?
Shaquille is a star now. Everybody want a picture with him.
Yeah. Oh wow.
No,
Hey, that's how it starts, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but um, because of the game against Inter Miami, um, and the work I put, I get my first call up for my country. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and as we happy for that. So
So it sounds like that game means more now because it's kind of
yeah,
just 180 minutes opened the door even more now and show
yeah,
your skills. All right. So yeah. So last thing about that game, and then we'll go to the fun things of football. So you guys also had to go to Miami and play there. So
Yeah.
how was that experience of like getting that international travel and then at their park and experience the whole MLS football?
Uh, I believe like seeing like how first off like walking into the stadium, you know that like that's a professional team. You understand? And like that's the level where you want to be at. You understand? Like they have everything. Like you enter the grounds, everything is already there. Everything is sorted out. Everything there. Like I think that's the difference between like a Caribbean level team and a professional team, like actually professional team. And like I look at it like if I want to join them or be like them, or be at the level they're at, I have to do certain things the way they does it. You understand? And like it was an eye opener for me.
So it was pretty much, I guess, it's not like you needed the motivation, but it kind of maybe added a little bit more extra on top.
So like that was my motivation. You understand? And like being like okay for the game in Inter Miami, I know like 100% that there would be scouts, there would be coaches, there would be everything because we are a Caribbean team reaching that level to play against Inter Miami, some of the greatest players. Of course, of course, they would be looking at some young players. They they can bring into the team. They could better whatever.
They can bring all of you guys. You're
Yeah,
still young.
yeah.
Shaquille, how was that for you and that travels?
Uh, I can say it was yes.
It was so great. Looks like Shaquille was just speechless. Is that what I'm hearing? It happens. Last time I went there, that's what happens when you see, you get to that stadium and then you see the people. Sometimes it's just looking around and have to snap your back to play the game, right?
Uh, there, there's too much people. I I get sick of it the next day because
Eh,
I never play in a stadium with so much people and so much noise. So for me, it was a great feeling. Yeah, I cannot forget this. So
it, and I think it just prepared you for what's next in your career. Is that you know where to go and how many people get louder and louder, um, you know, and then once you reach the other level where you get to see 90,000 people screaming your name, is you'll be used to it. So yeah, so I guess leading away a little bit of that game and MLS. So on this part of the podcast is a little bit more, I guess, relaxed. So I'm going to ask you guys 5 questions. So just go ahead and just take your time, and we'll see what you come up with. So,
Nice.
and I think Shaquille, I'll probably won't ask you this first question because you already said Ronaldo is your favorite player. So for you, Vito, Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Oh, all right, all right. So 2 for 2. That's the first one.
Uh,
Perfect. And so if I say, well, for Shaquille, I won't tell you why because I know it's striking and all that. So, but Vito, why Ronaldo?
so like Shaquille say, is like is like he's an individual that put in the work for what he wanted. You understand? I believe like Messi was born with the talent. Like yes, he put in his work, but he was already so good. You understand? And being that, I see like I come from like the same background with Ronaldo. Like we don't come from much. We didn't have much growing up, and then we keep on working and working to end up where you at. And like I see like that's my background also. I never grew up. I never had a goals for anything like that, and I keep on working to where I'm at right now. You understand? Yeah. Just his work
All right,
ethic towards everything, not just football, but in life also.
all
Like I
right.
watch like I watch documentaries and like the way he grew up his kids and everything. Uh,
All right, so that makes sense, and I think that's quite interesting because I have a lot, since I'm from Africa, Senegal too, in
uh,
Africa, and the very much that I hear when someone says Cristiano Ronaldo is their favorite player, it's almost like that same background. This is
uh,
from where he came from, and he had to work so hard to be what he is now.
uh,
So I hear that a lot from like African players and Caribbean
yeah,
players that
but like
relates to him.
like imagine a world with so much billion people, so
Yes.
much you could say like 1 billion footballers, and like you ranking as number one like in the world. That's
It
like
especially where he started. Yes.
that.
Awesome. Awesome. So the second question is if you weren't a footballer, what would you want it to be? Shaquille was laughing, so I think he has to tell us now.
I think
Oh,
I think I would go for volleyball. I think
What do you
I would have played volleyball if
you,
volleyball.
volleyball.
volleyball?
Yeah.
Oh, so tall, height, jumping. Any like outside of sports, anything that's not sport related?
What would you do like non sports like?
I think I just say it in English. I should take
Architect,
An
architecture.
actor?
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to ask him a lot more about the whole acting. So does he? What do you think of his answer? Actor.
But he's good at acting. All when he get fouled on the field, they act.
That's what I was waiting
They
for.
act to the
A,
full.
a striker wanting to be an actor. Yeah, that. All right. So a volleyball player or an actor. How about you?
Like in school growing up, I wanted to
Mm,
be a officer.
okay.
Like in primary school growing up. But like when I reached secondary school, like in secondary school, you have more options. You see more subjects. You do more subjects and everything. So after that, like I fell in love with architecture. You
Okay.
understand? So like house planning and those. Yeah. So like I'm good at house planning also. So that's my another passion. Like, that's what I have a passion for.
All right. All right. So is that something post football career? That's
Yeah. Well, football comes first. You understand?
yes. Oh yes.
So
Post. Yes.
yeah. So football comes first, and after football is architecture.
All right. All right. So that means Shaquille, during playing time and post football, we're gonna see him on the big screen as an actor.
Yeah.
And after that, we're gonna be building the next high rise building in the world.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
this,
yeah.
I mean,
Might build your house for it.
so yeah, there you go. You just built your own house. Yes. So, and we know that Vito, you played cricket. So I guess Shaquille will say that volleyball is your other favorite sport.
So like with me, I play more than one sport. You know. So like,
You have to, right?
I play. So cricket was my first sport. Then
Mhm.
football. Then when I went to secondary school, I fell in love with volleyball also. Then
Oh,
I was then I was a long distance runner, like a road relay runner.
okay.
Yeah. So I enjoy playing volleyball also because as a goalkeeper I like to send my body and I like to fall.
Well,
So I was good at volleyball too in school.
Shaquille, any other sports other than volleyball and football?
Um, no, I just think so. Uh,
All right.
just
So
football.
yes. So I guess growing up, you have so both of you is Ronaldo, different sports. So since the two of you have kind of moved to Jamaica, so could you tell us a little bit more, about Saint Lucia and Suriname? Tell us a little bit more about your separate countries and what the good people that probably don't know much about those countries,
Suriname.
because you have great players that came from your country that have origins from your country, but are Dutch. I know a little bit about Suriname, so you have some very good Dutch players that could have played for your country.
Yeah, yeah, we have a lot of ballers in Suriname, good players. Yeah?
Yes.
But in Suriname we have the amateur league,
Yeah.
so our players they don't see our players, yeah,
Yeah.
because our match now show like in the Caribbean and them
Right.
things. We we just play like, and for the national team maybe one local player, maybe a keeper or something, but in the league, like let's say the league is not weak, but or they must say it's amateur, so people now go look at amateur league,
Right.
and so, but we have really good players, yeah, but they have to get the opportunity to show themselves maybe in the Caribbean, Jamaica or something before they
Reach the
yeah,
next level. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's one person now we know Shaquille is here. The whole world was watching. You played well, so now that just puts it, on a little bit more for people to pay attention to.
yeah, yeah.
He thinks
But
guys like you to start, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they have me, but they have other players that are playing Europe.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, them born in Suriname. They also play the amateur league in Suriname, but now them are playing Europe. So it's just belief, and you know, I know when it's time, maybe I get the opportunity to come out the Suriname league to go and show yourself outside. So it's just believe and pray.
All right. So yeah, so we'll make sure we tell people. So maybe we'll see who maybe someone in MLS is for Suriname. So we'll check it out and see what we can do. So Vino, yourself?
Okay, so with me, like Saint Lucia was amateur. Like we just started a semi-professional league, which was last year. I think like in Saint Lucia we have a lot of talent, but like we're not getting the opportunity to show our talent. You understand? But like me myself, I always wanted to be like in the group that will history for the country, so that people could at least look upon me, and then but like it was one Saint Lucia first, Melvin Doxley, my good friend that came to Jamaica, that started in Jamaica first. That was in 2021, and like he was playing for Cavalier, and like he put in a word for me, you understand, and showed the coach my videos, and that's how we end up like linking up with Cavalier. And like
Nice.
so he did that for me, and that's the same thing I want to do for like local footballers back home, you understand? And like not just to bring them in Jamaica, but like better places, like you understand. But country wise, Saint Lucia is a wonderful country, loving people. Like I say, we have a population of 180,000 people. Yeah, we home to the 220 people. We have the only driving volcano in the world. Yeah, so we have a lot of history also. The only country named after a lady.
Look,
We have two Nobel laureates. Like there's a lot of greatness in St. Lucia. You understand? We are a historical country.
yeah, look at that. Vino, he's like the perfect spokesperson for like Saint Lucia. I think
Yeah.
like government needs to reach out to you. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess as to close out this interview here. So if you were to look at yourself as a younger self, who would you tell the next Shaquille? Who would you tell, the next Vino of, a little bit of motivation speak?
So with me, I would be like, I would tell them, you know, follow your dreams. You understand? That's the first thing. You understand? Believe, have faith, put God first in each and everything you do, and like just cherish every moment that you can cherish. You understand? And like goalkeeping wise, what I could say is like mastering the right technique at an early age, because growing up I never had a goalkeeping coach until I was like 17 years. And like I believe like those are the simple things, like the great goalkeepers, the great players have above us. It's like they grow up in a professional environment where we have to work for what we want. So if we can notice the right techniques and work on them early, then everything will be all right.
Awesome. Shaquille, anything for your younger self or your
I will tell them, just believe, follow your dream. Um, don't forget to pray every day. You know, and it'll be all right. So if you believe, your dream will come true. No matter when or what time when it will come true, you just have to put the work and show people what you can, and then it will happen.
Another thing is that like we live in a world full of distractions. You understand?
oh yes.
So like we're like we remaining focused. That's the hardest thing. You understand? Because you get distraction in everything you do. You understand? And like sometimes you have the faith and you believe, you can do it. Yeah?
Oh yes. You guys definitely have it harder than us and others. Where there's a lot more distraction now these days. That's certainly one. And but also there's also one of those things where Travis and I met. We're in the same city in St. Louis. We met. We had lunch a few weeks ago, and then after that he talked so well about you guys. So I had to watch. I think I watched 10 or 15 of your games that was online, and then after that, here we are now talking remotely. So it's one of those things. It's football it's a global sport, but it's still a small world where we all can connect. And who knows? Maybe I'll be in Jamaica watch one of your games, or you guys will be playing, I guess, St. Louis.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And hopefully you guys make it to the Gold Cup. So because I think the last game here was I watched Jamaica play. Trinidad and Tobago was here
Suriname made it.
also. Were you there?
Suriname made it to
Yeah,
this World Cup.
Suriname make it this year. So
Hey,
Yeah. St. Lucia fell
yeah,
short by, like we had to win our last game, but we lost to Curacao.
okay,
Yeah.
man. So just keep on right, Shaquille. If you watch and then they keep saying if you see St. Louis in there, it will be 100% that you will see me at that stadium.
all right.
Yes. And I have good friends with I think Jesse. He's played for Trinidad and Tobago. So we made quite a few friends from the islands because it's closer to my heart because it's kind of relate to like the African player of
Yeah.
me. So I was at that stadium watching Trinidad and Jamaica. That pretty much brought me way back because the old men were there talking, bantering, laughing with each other, all the jokes. That's pretty much what I like about football, and also I definitely enjoyed you guys joining me. Definitely learn from you guys. Keep watching Cavalier now as much as I can when it's on TV anywhere. Um, wishing you guys good luck on the season.
Thanks.
Hopefully make another double, the league and Caribbean,
That's the
concacaf.
aim, yeah. That's the
Yeah,
aim. Yeah.
yeah, and then after that you come back and play. So definitely appreciate your time. What I will do is we'll record this, send it to the world, send it to everyone that's watching it. Um, See how we can help you guys put a name on not only your club but also yourself and country.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, so thank you guys. Have a blessed day.
Yeah.